Welcome, residents, to the Dr. DC podcast. My name is producer Richard, and across from me is the Doctor himself.
Hello.
Each week we talk about the weird and wonderful world of DC while fielding questions from listeners like you.
That's right.
And much like listeners like you, we got a fucking review from one.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, finally back on the review train, baby.
Baby.
5-star review number 174 from Apple Podcast USA from Ryukin.
Yeah.
Ryukin. Who goes with the subject, get into it. They go on to say, my DC fandom was limited to Batman and the Super Friends before I found these wonderful humans. There is so much content, I am not sure how their heads don't explode. I mean, depends what you're talking about.
Easy.
They are not exclusionary, and I have never once felt bad for my lack of knowledge. It's a good time every week, and I love listening to back episodes. The catalog is deep. Come for the love, stay for the thirst.
Hey.
Which is also, I think, the approach to our other one, too.
Yes. It's just our approach,
Yeah.
I think.
To our partners.
To life.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome. Thank you.
Very much enjoying that. We are in fucking Fanagar, baby.
Yeah.
The Fanagar Fanstravaganza number 3.
No.
That's what you wrote.
Oh, yes. Sorry.
That's what I
sorry.
copied.
It is the third year we've done.
Thank you.
Yes. Sorry. Yeah. I thought you got the, this part 3. It's it's definitely not.
Part 1.
Part 1. Of the third one.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the third year in a row that
5th year.
That in the week where the
Yeah.
annual falls, that we do a bunch of mailbag episodes. We just fill the week with episodes, basically.
Yeah.
So we've got a bunch coming for the rest of the week, but yeah.
I hate that we still call it Fanagar.
You just gotta listen. It's the one holdover.
It's the bitter taste that makes everything else taste good. It's the vermouth of our
Apparently my dad used to
martini?
just drink vermouth.
No.
Apparently.
What?
Yeah, I don't know.
Why?
Great question.
No.
Hey, I don't know, man.
Jesus.
Yep.
Yeah. This is.
So we reached into the mailbag for questions for this.
Yeah, we pulled a few mailbag questions out. I'm looking forward to answering the random litany of questions that are available.
I was wondering where this was going.
Me too.
It felt insincere.
It really was just not thought out.
Sure, yeah.
All right, let's get into the questions. Let's start with Twitter.
That's Twitter.
From, holy shit, Chad Bokelman.
Bokel.
Wow, it's been so long.
Yeah.
How old of a question is this?
Not as old as some.
Awesome. They ask, the question is a D-list hero, popularity-wise, at best. Yet, the first trade of Denny O'Neil's question run is out of print and goes for big bucks. In your opinion, what is the secret sauce of that run that makes such an unknown character so interesting and valuable?
Yeah, I mean, the question... I mean, my personal quibbles would be that the question is, not D-list. But
Sure.
I think the question, what Chad is asking is coming from the right place, which is why is the question not D-list?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Kind of. Especially considering the sort of hit and miss that most of those Charlton characters have had, right? I think for me, the thing that makes the O'Neill run of the question really work is it feels really, really worn in, really lived in, and it right away kind of it establishes that this is a character that can fail.
Yeah.
And I think there's something interesting about that. The first issue of the question, he fucking dies.
Yeah,
he doesn't, but you know what I mean? They
know what you're
basically kill him.
Yeah.
And then it's all about building him back up, and he has to train, and he has to learn, and he has to change his approach, and he has to change his philosophy. And I think there's something kind of magnetic about a character who doesn't have all the answers, who doesn't have all the fixes. I think it's a thing that works for Green Arrow as well. I think it's a thing I like about Aquaman. It's not to say every run of those other characters manages to nail that, but like I think when Aquaman is done well, it's like where he makes decisions that sometimes have like fallout. Like he's quick to temper and maybe sometimes doesn't think things through, or his demons come back to bite him or stuff like that. Same with Green Arrow and stuff like that.
Totally.
I think it's a thing that makes those characters work is the fallibility. And so for the question, and then you add to that he also doesn't have powers, right? He's a dude. He doesn't even have like a cool he's not even like specialized. Like Green Arrow is like, I'm the best arrow, like bow and arrow.
I'm the best arrower.
Archer.
I'm so good at arrowing.
Couldn't think of the word archer, but you know what I mean.
You know how everybody who is an expert in their field don't understand how to talk about that field.
Exactly. But the question doesn't even have that. He's just a guy in a faceless mask that uses his like fists and stuff. There's something really captivating about that. And then the slight joke answer is that the fashion in that book is like fucking incredible.
You've talked a lot about that.
Like fucking big, like when you remember like in the 80s where like dudes had like the spaghetti strap like tank tops that were like real baggy.
Yeah.
Tuck them in and shit.
Yeah.
He's got fucking mullet. Shiva just like banging costumes, like incredible fashion in that book. I think that's part of it too, is it's just got like a good look. Yeah. The question also has an iconic look. No face, but otherwise that sort of like Sam Spade kind of detective shit. Like there's enough in there that you put those pieces together, and I think it does a lot of work to make him stick out and make him memorable and things like that.
Why do you think that there's so much value in that book, like actual like financial value?
Just because it's one of the great runs, Like,
but I mean, there's other really great runs out there that aren't.
But you know what? Like, it's a great run from an era that maybe isn't necessarily across the board known for great runs.
But maybe had
also
like
O'Neill is a legendary creator. Dennis Cowan's in there, like.
Do you think it was also not like that widely distributed? That like
that's probably part of it. Yeah, I don't know that I can 100% account for the monetary value on it, but like,
it's a very good run.
It's a great run of a weird character that now, I mean, I'd argue is like almost B-list.
Really,
like
getting there?
Maybe not as ubiquitous in like just general, out in the world. If you said who's the question, people would be like, I have no idea.
I mean,
but like in comics, the question is not like, if you talk about the question, you're not scraping the bottom of the barrel to get there, right? Like the question is up in the list of interesting and dynamic DC characters.
Yeah, when they show up, people like who are following a lot of DC continuity are going to be like, oh, the question. Yeah.
And having Renee Montoya become the question later also did a lot for that too. Like the question is now a legacy character. Like there's that character's a lot bigger than people than we might think it should have been or whatever, and it's all built on that O'Neill run, because the O'Neill run basically starts with forget what Ditko was doing. This is the character now, and reestablishes something. So it all is built on that run.
Let me take a wild shot in the dark. Did he also have an important role in Final Crisis?
Renee does.
Yeah, I was like, let me guess.
Renee does.
Yeah, there you go. All right, let's go to the next question. From There's Nobody Here Named Josh, who asks, think the power of flight for some characters is just selective telekinesis?
Yeah, probably. I mean, this is the Superboy thing, the tactile telekinesis thing, where like it was like that. His powers were actually that, but they mimicked the sort of Superman powers or whatever. But
I always wonder how flight technically works in DC anyways. I'm sure we had an episode about it.
We definitely had an episode like specifically about it. The answer was like, don't think about it too much.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
Shut your fucking mouth.
I'm sure for some characters it is.
Yeah.
And for some characters it like literally is. There's telekinetic characters who do like the Magneto thing.
Yeah.
Just, move yourself, like levitate, move yourself around. Like there's some that literally do that. for a character like Hawkman, he has wings in that, but it's also the nth metal has
Sure,
like an
yeah.
anti-gravity property to it and things like that. For other characters, it's literally just magic and stuff like that. But yes, there must be characters who just view themselves as having the power of flight, but it's really some form of telekinesis or something like that. And then there's also characters that have telekinesis who are like, I could use this to make me fly.
Telekinesis.
But yeah.
Telekinesis.
But it's true that oh my god, what a deep cut Ghostfacer's joke.
I know.
But I do think that in general, the power of flight is probably the least defined, like how it works. Because like we as people are not designed to fly. You know what I mean? Like there's nothing inherently aerodynamic about us.
No.
Or, how would you, turn? How do you maneuver those things?
That's always the question.
Kind of
just
just go
go
like
faster.
Blah, 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 and you just sort of like write it. Yeah. How do you determine speed? Like all of those kind of things. We just kind of like go, it's a power.
Birds have those things innately.
I mean, not that we understand fully how super strength works, but at least the mechanics of it are still like, we kind of have a slightly easier time wrapping our heads around it. So, yeah, I don't have a great answer for that other than like, yes, you are right to point out that flight is sort of like a weird ambiguous power. There's almost certainly characters that if we did the anatomy of a metahuman thing with them, we'd be like, oh, it's telekinesis.
Or if you took a character
like maybe Martian Manhunter. That's probably flight for Martian Manhunter, right? The Martians are powerful telepaths and telekinetics. I'd be like, Martian Manhunter flies by telekinesis.
Yeah.
I would say that as opposed to it being the power of flight.
Totally.
Or
if there's a character that could fly and then one day you'd find out that it was actually through telekinesis and now they're learning how to use telekinesis in other ways, it wouldn't be drastically different.
Totally.
Crazy.
Yeah.
All right, let's leave Twitter and head on over to Instagram.
Now we're going to Instagram, take some questions and answer them.
The one and only question from Instagram comes from Robbie's Just This Guy, who asks, if Lobo was a cocktail combining an energy drink and an alcohol. God, what is this? Goods from the Woods?
Yeah, this would be a good Rivers question.
Potentially a bit of blood for coppery flavor tones.
Jesus.
What liquids be them?
Right. I think you gotta have. I think it's like moonshine. It's like bathtub still like moonshine and a 5-hour energy. Like one of those little things.
That's really funny.
Like they both have to be things that are dubiously legal. I think is where I'm going with this to be the Lobo drink.
Yeah, I think it's just
and a bunch of fucking hot sauce.
Yeah, I think it's just a Four Loko with just like an extra with a beer put in it.
I'm almost pitching a Prairie Fire, I guess.
Oh,
but with the energy drink component.
Yeah, or like a Fireball and like Goldschlager.
Yeah.
Or a Monster energy drink and Fireball.
I think Fireball's too fancy for Lobo, though.
Really?
Cinnamon?
Oh, I guess.
Ooh,
I mean, he's got a little bit sass in there.
I mean, he does have a sort of whimsy side.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah. I think I want mine to be like very questionably legal. Yeah.
Well, you know what it is? You know what it really is? It's like Jack Daniels because he's got that like rock thing.
Sure.
And then like that like the like pussy energy drink or whatever.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Keezy Feb. Yeah. Get me another one of these.
That's what it is.
Yeah. These fragged drinks.
That's really funny.
Yeah. That's good.
All right. Let's leave Instagram and head on over to Reddit.
Hey, where everyone's nice and no one's ever mean.
That's correct. From Adam Land, who asks, what are y'all's favorite theme covers? Example, the faces of DC heroes from the late 1997.
Right.
The Jokered villains from Joker's Last Laugh.
Right.
0 Hour Month, etc. I like the faces covers personally.
Yeah, sometimes DC does like themed covers or variant covers for a month.
Oh, okay. I don't know if I've encountered those really.
Sometimes it's based on an event that's happening.
Yeah. In my collecting, I don't think I've really encountered that.
Yeah. Or sometimes it's based on like an anniversary. Like they'll be like, it's the 75th anniversary of, whatever, Wonder Woman. And so every book will have a Wonder Woman variant cover. So there's a Green Arrow book, but it's a picture of Green Arrow and Wonder Woman. They get artists to do. Variants
didn't they
stuff
do
like
a Batmite kind of theme at some point?
Well, I don't know if they did specifically Batmite one, but
like all the other characters got their own sort of versions of mites or something like that.
I don't know if they did that as variant covers.
Oh, maybe not a variant.
Maybe
covers.
it's possible. For me, the one that stands out, call me a New 52 stan, but they did a movie poster variant.
Yes, you've talked about this. Yeah,
where because Warner Brothers owns DC, so they got like. You want to do any of these posters, you
yeah,
get the rights.
Yeah.
And they did some really cool ones. Like there was a Detective Comics Matrix one. They did a Bill and Ted Action Comics one. They did a Magic Mike Justice League one.
That's hilarious.
The Wonder Woman one's my favorite one. That was like the 300 poster, but they did it with Wonder Woman. It says, "Tonight we dine in Themyscira."
Whoa.
That one fucks.
Hell yeah.
It's cool as shit. The Batgirl one is like Purple Rain, because like the motorcycle and stuff. Like, yeah, I think that's my favorite one. The movie poster variant month is a really strong one for me. I think
that's awesome. Yeah. I haven't really through my collection. I haven't gotten anything, but that's really.
I feel like the Flash one might have been like North by Northwest or something, but it's him running.
That's cool.
The scene with the plane, like that poster.
I like that. That's awesome. All right. Finally, we are going to the Doc Scored.
Shit.
Doc Scored.
Shit.
It's that time, like it is every episode.
Nowadays, everybody want a doc sled. They got scored to say, but nothing doc scored when they move.
They're scored.
Scored. Just a bunch of docs and scored. That motherfuckers act like they forgot about scored.
And.
So what do you type to somebody you hate?
Yeah! Leave it. You're good.
Or anyone trying to bring facts your way?
All right. Easy. The question from DocScored comes from But, who asks, how is the power glove that Hal steals different from a typical Green Lantern ring?
Right. So the... when would this would have been?
Get ready, Bruno. Get next to the keyboard.
Post Convergence.
Go, Bruno. Go.
It's that DCU era, like DCYOU.
Sure. Yeah.
And Hal was like, I can't remember precisely what happened. I think it had something to do with Lights Out, but he was like kicked out of the Corps or something like that.
Yeah.
But he steals this power gauntlet and he wears this long like coat. And it was a redesign that was never going to stick. But he steals this power gauntlet and it was built by Krona, the Rogue Guardian. It's supposed to be like the prototype of what would eventually become refined to become the ring. But it's this giant glove with like a pipe that comes out of it, goes to a backpack, like to contain all the green energy, right?
Sure, yeah.
But it's supposed to be like prototype technology, like before they figured out how to make the rings and stuff like that. The thing with that gauntlet was that it's not connected to the rings. It's its own thing, and I think it holds enough of green energy that's kind of like it's disconnected from the central power battery too, because that's a thing that has come up in the more recent Green Lantern run. Is after the battery gets destroyed, Teen Lantern, who now has that gauntlet, it still worked. So it's kind of like separate a bit.
Yeah.
But it was also like the thing for Hal when he first had it is it was like intensely difficult to make constructs because it's like almost like rogue untapped energy. It's like not focused and refined or whatever.
Yeah.
So it takes like a lot more concentration and power to like make constructs and do things that aren't just like boom, a big like explosive blasts and stuff. But yeah, I mean, after that little run, that gauntlet goes to Teen Lantern, who works with that, and the Guardians are like, hang on, we got to figure out how this thing like works and shit like that, and it's sort of its own weird thing. But yeah,
kind of like the original Green Lanterns, sort of like still access, but like lantern power, but is not the same as like a regular.
Yeah, exactly. It would be like I'm trying to think like what like a sort of like equivalent thing would be. It would be like it would be like the difference between like a laptop and like an old like ENIAC computer kind of thing. It's like I guess technically they're doing the same thing, but one is doing it a lot clunkier and
or like like the Apple Watch and like the iPhone, where it's like
they
access the same sort of like informational tube. And
there's
like
a difference in like how refined it is and how easy it is to use and stuff like that. But yeah, the short version is that it's a device made by Krona. It's a prototype of the technology that harnesses the power of the green energy of will.
But it's shittier.
I think Hal made a new ring for himself with it, though. Like when he did, because it's Hal, indomitable will, right? So once he figured out how to use it, it could do things the ring couldn't do because it was like more unrestrained power kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I think he like made a ring with it.
Wow.
And shit like that. Which
That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, that was the last question.
Well, shit.
I know. Which means we are done those questions, but we are not done the episode because we've got to play our favorite game.
Hell yeah.
You lost yesterday's.
Fuck you.
Or however this lines up.
Yesterday's.
Is that when this comes out? This the day after?
Yeah, this comes out tomorrow.
Cool.
Yeah. But
by tomorrow, do you mean actually tomorrow, like when we're recording this? Or
but
tomorrow?
yesterday's is the annual, the thing that's out today.
Okay, is this.
So tomorrow, that's yesterday.
Nailed it.
Yesterday.
Nice.
All these episodes are far away.
Wow, you're on a roll. You just keep singing. Nowadays, everybody want to talk.
You really got something to say. Nothing comes out.
Can you guess the name of the character based on if someone who does not read comic books can describe that character to us? If you don't know how this works, I mean, I told you yesterday. Fucking figure it out. But,
wow.
I sent a photo
Aggressive.
of a DC Comics character to my wife who does not read comic books. She sends back 4 clues describing what she sees. First of 4 clues. Are you ready?
Yes.
Wow, that's not instilling confidence.
I'm confident.
Never mind, I've changed my mind. First clue. Kane may or may not have brittle bones.
Gentleman Ghost.
No.
Monocle.
No.
Moving on.
Okay.
Nice.
Hey,
Nice. It's a Ghostfacer's joke.
I don't care. Clue number 2. Seriously lacking vitamin D.
Oh, Shade?
No.
Andrew Bennett?
No.
Is it I, Vampire?
No.
Interesting. What was the Kane clue again?
Kane may or may not have brittle bones.
Oh, okay.
Please consult.
Man, it's not the Shade, huh?
No, it's not.
Shit. Next clue.
Next clue. Funeral director vibes.
And it's not the Shade?
It's not.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah. It is, in fact, not the Shade.
Ah, fuck. Why is this all... God damn it.
This 4th clue's not going to help you either.
Is it really not?
Yeah.
Okay, just give it to me.
4th clue. DC Peaky Blinders.
Kane.
Yeah.
Possibly brittle bones, but he's got a cane.
Yeah.
He's pasty. He doesn't get enough vitamin D. He's a funeral director vibe, so he's probably dressed in all black. Maybe like something fancy like a suit. And then Peaky Blinders. That might be a haircut clue.
Could be.
But who could it be? Immortal Man?
No.
It's not like a young Alfred or something like that. No. Piece of shit. Fuck. Interesting. It's not the Fiddler.
Nope.
It's not. It's not like Is it? It's not like Cain or Abel.
Nope.
It's not. Lucifer is blonde, but it's not Lucifer.
Nope.
It's not. Shit. It's not one of the others of the Endless, is it?
Nope.
God damn it. And it's not. Oh man, shit. I'm having a really hard time not thinking of The Shade. It's like so in my head now.
Not The Shade.
I know, I believe you, but it just like all of those clues have locked that image in my head, and I'm like, you have to think of a different version of that. Like I can't.
Okay, I'll help you a little bit.
It's fucked.
I will say that you almost answered it already.
Oh, damn it! That's even worse.
Like I could almost accept it.
It's not Vandal Savage,
but it's not what you said. No. You got too specific at one point, and it's not the right thing. I couldn't give it to you.
So it's not young Alfred, it's Alfred?
Sort of.
What the fuck does that mean? Is it Alfred Pennyworth?
Sort of.
What do you mean sort?
That should be enough to give you the answer.
Oh, it's The Outsider.
That's right.
Fuck. Yeah, okay.
I'm like, that is more than enough.
Understood. Understood. Yeah, right. There you go.
Yeah, there you go. That's right. It is The Outsider, the evil alter ego of Alfred Pennyworth. Because maybe he wasn't evil.
From Earth 3.
Yeah, maybe.
Or in previous continuities, not Earth 3, but...
Or in our continuity, just Alfred.
What do you mean, sir?
I think that...
I love that our Alfred is evil, but also just kind of like innocuously.
Yeah. I think that maybe the outsider actually was Joe Chill the whole time.
I think we should focus our investigation over there.
Yeah. I think undue ridicule and this is just not fair for Alfred. Just because I was nearby,
trying to park the car.
That's right. That's it. Very, very challenging to park a car in downtown Gotham.
I do love that Teen Titans Go thing where it's like, hey, gee, Dad, thanks for taking me to see a movie in this dangerous neighborhood.
Yeah. That's very funny. Yes, so that was The Outsider. Maybe some of you residents were able to guess that before the doctor this week. We'd love to hear from you. Or once we're out of Fanagar, you can start sending questions to us for future episodes.
Well, yeah, here's the thing. The way we're recording these, we won't be recording an episode after the Fanagar Tournament of Pandering is done.
Every time you say tournament, do you want to say of champions?
Almost.
Yeah.
But the Tournament of Pandering is going on. So next week, the episode that comes out will be whatever theme wins the tournament.
That's right.
And then the week after that, it'll be whichever theme our Golden Age patrons pick for this.
So either subscribe to our Patreon.
Patreon.com/DrDC.
$5, $7 level, you get access to bonus episodes.
Also a $1 level. All of them give you access to the Discord. But if you want the bonus stuff, those are at the higher levels.
And being part of this voting and choosing and asking questions.
Totally. It's bonus episodes, it's videos, there's theme polls, and during Fanagar, the second chance tourney is happening over there.
That's
so yeah, and all of that helps to support us, obviously.
But outside of Fanagar, if you want to send us questions for a future episode, you can do through our social media platforms like our Facebook,
Dr. DC Podcast,
our Twitter,
at Dr. DC,
our Instagram,
Dr. DC Podcast.
That was weird. Through our email,
drdcpodcast@gmail.com.
Are you okay?
You're making it weird.
Your dick is small.
It's normal.
We have a subreddit.
r/Dr_DC.
The doc phone is always open.
208-917-3238.
What is going on?
I'm fine. What are you going on?
208-917-DCEU.
If you're fine. Nasty.
Nice.
If you're nasty?
If you're a naughty, naughty boy. Nice. Because we're young and cool, we're on TikTok.
At Dr. DC.
We're old and irrelevant. That's why we still have a website.
DrDCpodcast.com or .ca.
But don't use it if you're like some weird like dick pill thing. Or like sexy photos. Like I don't need it. I can get that from other places.
Wow.
Yeah, stop
Look at
sending
you
me
being
emails.
choosy.
I got Baby's got to pick up a litter.
Full of ourselves.
Much like we got at the beginning of this episode, we got a 5-star review. We want more of those things. If you get up to 200, maybe.
How dare you?
You'll get a thing.
I will rain down
that thing
holy
will be.
fire upon you.
Some people are asking for like a Star Trek podcast instead of a Lord of the Rings one. I mean, who's to say what will come? If we can't decide, if we can't make a concrete decision amongst
we
us
have
all,
made it.
who knows when we may have to delay. But why don't you give us a 5-star review and we will read it on a future episode of the show.
I will sink Numenor into the sea. My wrath will know no end.
God, I have no idea what you're talking about. If there was only a way that I could figure that stuff out and learn about it. Guess we'll never know. If it's not through Apple Podcasts or Facebook, why don't you take a screenshot and send it to us through our Facebook or one of the other social media platforms. You cracking your knuckles? That's so threatening.
I didn't intend for it to follow on what was happening. I just had to crack them. But.
Yeah, just don't stop. Just keep looking at me. Also, you can send us some physical mail to either Richard Eden or Reed Vanier at 301 Hogue Street. That's Whitehorse, Yukon, Canada, Y1A 1V8. Also, we've got a whole other podcast if you want more content. You heard a bunch of jokes that don't make sense for you here. You got to listen to the other one to make sense.
Yeah, we're being just like DC, but the crossovers are across titles now. You gotta get all of you gotta get the full product line if you want to have the experience. But yeah, go check out Ghostfacer's Supernatural Rewatch. We're going through every single episode of the CW Supernatural. We talk real world monster lore and behind the scenes stuff about the show. We are
partway through season 5,
about a third of the way through season 5 right now, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. If you like how we talk about comics, you might enjoy how we talk about that show.
That is it for this week.
Adios.
You need to rest. Ciao, ciao.
Live with danger and adventure, they are men of might.
This was a Brain Freeze podcast.